In today's Sales Wisdom video, we will be talking about whether sales teams should be making cold calls during COVID.
Hey, Shobit, good question. I get asked that a lot. Should my team be making cold calls during COVID-19? These are weird times, right? And, my first question back to them is, well, were you making calls before COVID-19? Was it effective before? Because honestly, the same people are answering their phones as they always have been, right? So if I'm a phone guy and that's my preferred channel, then I'm gonna keep answering the phones. But honestly, if my target audience wasn't answering calls before, they're probably not now. So think about what was working before, and if you're not sure if it was working before, now's a good time to find out, right? Because I got to tell you, I talk to sales teams every day that are crushing it on the phone right now, and we use the phone as well here at Outplay, but everybody uses it a little differently. Some folks might uh, go for a phone call when somebody has opened your email a bunch of times, or maybe when they connected with you on LinkedIn. If it's a internal referral, these are great opportunities to make calls as well, and I wouldn't even consider those cold calls really. But cold calls are still effective. And as a matter of fact, I did a presentation for a CEO yesterday, and he's like, David, I'm an old school sales guy, and he's running this big modern SaaS company, but he is an old school sales guy, and he prefers old fashioned method. If you want to sell to him, you got to pick up the phone, you got to call him. And it's funny because he actually passed that culture down to his sales team. They don't care about making an email campaign or great LinkedIn content and messaging. He believes, and he has passed that belief on down to his team, that calling is the best way to book meetings. Now, your mileage may vary, but I think you really have to give it a strong effort before you make any decisions, right? And we're always doing experimenting. So we're trying calls at different places and different stages in the process all the time. But what I've seen is that, typically it doesn't, you don't get somebody to book a meeting on the first call. You might not even get them to answer the call, right? We leave a lot of voicemails. So, you might have to make 3, 4, 5 calls just to have a conversation, right? So the fact is that most salespeople make one call, right? Or two, send an email maybe. And that's why having a process in place is so important. And that's why I've always been a firm believer in the sales engagement tools like Outplay, of course, right? That ensure that every prospect goes through the same process and gets, 3 to 5 calls, whatever's in your best practices, right? The focus needs to be on really just one thing. It's booking a meeting, right? A cold call isn't designed to, give them a long product pitch. It's not designed to answer in-depth questions or objections. It's designed just to get them on a call. So hopefully, we're doing a great job of targeting the right audience, right? So we've got our ideal client profile well defined, and that's the only people we want to speak with, so that when we do reach out to them, very likely that they're going to use our service, or have a need for our product, right? So if you've done a good job of targeting accounts, then you don't have to do much of anything else but say, hey, let's talk. Are you open to a call? And that is the focus of every cold call. Be short, be relevant, and be gone. That's it. Any questions that come up on that initial phone call, always redirect. Redirect. Yeah, let's talk about that. Are you open to a call on Wednesday? Let's spend 15 minutes. Well, I'll show you how that works. I'll show you how we handle that situation. I'll show you how we use the tool, right? All great ways to move past a small brush off or objection, to get through the phone call, have that initial meeting where you can really show the value that you bring.